Citizen Forum is open. We do have each person who wish to speak have 2 minutes to do so. And I'm asking of all of you who wants to speak, don't stay in the back, come forward, because once I said it's closed, it's going to be closed. So it is open. Citizen Forum is open for anybody. And thank you, Mr. Barron. Thank you so much for making those signs on behalf of the city. I would like to thank you, and also you young men. Good job, wonderful. Thank you so much. Please come forward, come to the mic.
We've enjoyed the process, and it's been, I think, 3 years in total. And some of the things you were describing as issues regarding placement of signs were hard-fought battles to get them into locations that DOT would allow and private property would allow. And so it's a long, involved process. But the work that's out there right now, we've actually received forays from different municipalities that like the signage so much they want to start their own process. And some of what's taken place to get the signs in the ground that Tanya presented took 3 years and longer. So I would commend the city for having the forethought to put together a plan that really has resulted in something that's worthwhile and striking, really. So just wanted to say that.
I think we should develop a better relationship with FDOT when there are certain things we need from them. It should be an open relationship where we can give and take. And so far, I don't know what we have developed with them. Why can't we ask for permission? Why can't we talk to them? I don't believe that there are certain things we cannot have if we ask for them.
Sure. You probably haven't spoken to DOT representatives before.
Trust me, I'm on the MPO board. I deal with them monthly. And I have a good relationship with them, very good relationship.
We all do, but they have a massive set of regulations that governs size, text height. It's interesting, but necessary to keep the safety of the signs that we want to put in perspective. This car is doing 45 and 50 miles an hour, and their concerns are not your concerns. Their concerns are making sure that vehicles don't hit them. So the guidelines, I guess, are to protect us all.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Thanks again. Thank you again. Good job. Mr. Manager, Citizen Forum is open.
Hi, my name is Michael Rosenberg, 13030 North Calusa Club Drive in Miami, down in Kendall. I want to thank the City of North Miami for considering the Pets Trust resolution that's on your agenda tonight. I founded the Pets Trust along with co-founder Rita Schwartz, who's sitting here. And we both have our own businesses. We have our own worlds, but we got involved in educating the community about the plight of our animals, how 20,000 of them are killed a year, how it's gone on for decades, how 37,000 come into the shelter every year, how it never ends. We were given the mission by the county commissioners to go to the community and educate the community about what the Pets Trust was about. And we had 3 months to do it. You might remember I lived in a cage for 3 days at the animal shelter to do part of that education. And much to the surprise of everyone, on November 6, 2012, almost 500,000 people voted to pay a little more to save our animals. And I'm extremely happy with the city of North Miami. You have any idea how many people in this community voted for that? Almost 74%. Wow. That's shocking. 74%.
That was because you advocated for it as well.
Well, terrific. And Commissioner Monistim has supported it.
He did.
He's not one of the commissioners that voted against the will of the people. So what we're here for, yes, to save animals, but your community already got that. We're here, we want the leaders of North Miami to send a message to the county commissioners and the mayor that when you vote, it counts. And that is what we're looking to get tonight. We're going city to city to city to city. Unfortunately, we have to do this. And I'm honored to be here. And I look forward to a positive vote on this. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing this to the county and awareness to the citizens. And I'm an animal lover.
Thank you.
I have a toy poodle, of course, and it's a very good one. It's in the consent agenda, Madam Keys.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Madam Keys sponsored it, and it's on the consent agenda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members and everyone. The topic presented today.
Identify yourself, your name and address, please.
I'm sorry. Okay, my name is Marie-Carmel Fontus. Living in North Miami.
Address, please.
1630 Northwest 120th Street. The subject presented was about, the library project. And I hear that Mayor Tondwo and the architect presented the size, debating the size and budget issues. But it was very important to bring that issue. But as a substitute teacher, serving the community in Broward, but I'm concerned with North Miami because this is my nest. I would like to know. I stop at the library, one branch, and the library closed at 6 o'clock. The kids left school 3 up to 4. What time they're going to be having to use the library? And computers are only 21 computers. Some of the kids, they do not have computer at home. And on Friday, library closed. There will be nice, if they take this into consideration because, some of the parents, they do not have opportunity to buy computers. Kids corners, very important. I don't know if it is offered in the library. That will be very important if, there will be corners for the kids to enjoy the library because bathroom was an issue.
Your time is up. You need to get to the point.
Okay. All right. So I mentioned, some points, very important, computers, library closed the time they close, and then kids' corners. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lucia? You want to address the issues the constituents have?
The closing times.
The closing times?
Our library has wonderful times. We have the fortune to be an independent municipal library responding to our city council and our city government. We are open Monday through Thursday from 11:30 to 8 o'clock. That means that we take care of the children after school. Only on Friday we close at 5 o'clock. Other libraries that belong to the county have a lot more restriction and do leave the kids out. We don't. We are actually open even on Sundays to provide for our community. We are the only one in Miami-Dade County still open on Sunday providing for our community.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Citizen Forum is still open.
William Pervitel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. For change of pace, I'm here to beg atonement. Little story, I was at Home Depot some nights ago. Longest line I've ever seen in the return counter. And probably 20 minutes, half hour, and a gentleman comes up with this plant in his hands, an older gentleman asking to return it, to exchange it. And he was told that he had to wait online the 20 minutes, the half hour. He had to return the plant. He had to go pick out a new plant, had to go repurchase it, and then be on with it. 12 people or so were content with that, and you know me with my big mouth. I said, sir, put your plant down at the feet of the security officer. Go pick out your plant, bring it back, change it, and leave. That's what happened. No one was harmed by that. It even helped Home Depot. And unfortunately, or for better or for worse, that's the way I see much of life. And it's come to my attention that possibly my passion for certain issues and possibly seeing simple solutions to sometimes complexing problems, I've imposed that on some of our city council members and our city staff possibly, that my passion and intensity has maybe run amok, and possibly my sense of urgency and opportunity, if I have failed to convince that of some people, that's my own failing. And I just wanted to apologize if I have unduly stressed anybody in the course of these things. I wish I could better share, I was better articulate in sharing what I feel are some really easy solutions to some very problematic conditions that we have through many parts of the city. But I'll try to back off in some extent regarding these matters. And if anybody's looking to explore some simple solutions, you know where to find me. Thank you.
Thank you. Citizen Forum is still open. Citizen Forum is now closed. Let's get to business, guys. Do I hear a motion for consent agenda?
So moved.
Those who wishes to record a no. Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Tab F, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, adopting the attached signage master plan to serve as a design guide for all future city gateway, public facility, parking, and directional signage consistent with the City of North Miami Comprehensive Plan and applicable sections of Chapter 14-51 Florida Administrative Code as amended from time to time, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Second. Madam Mayor, you had a presentation from Tanya Sijuro. This is the sister item.
Anyone wishes to record a no? Mr. Clerk?
Public hearing.
Public hearing is open on this. Oops. Public hearing is now closed.
Tab G, proposed resolution of the...
You need to get a count. They didn't vote.
They did vote. She said
Yeah.
anyone wishes to record
I'm
a no.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
Tab G, just for the record, tab F passed 5-0. Tab G, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the city administration's ranking and selection of JVA Engineering Contractor, Inc. as the lowest responsible contractor to furnish all materials, equipment, supervision, and services required for the installation and improvement of a force main in accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in the invitation for bid number 19-13-14 Biscayne Boulevard Force Main Improvement Project, and further authorizing the city manager and city attorney to negotiate and execute an agreement for the provision of services required to complete the project at a cost not to exceed $1,428,656.25, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second for discussion.
Information, please. Mr. Manager.
Yeah.
She wants information.
Question?
Public hearing is open first. On tab J,
J.
public hearing is now closed.
Tab
Discussion.
G.
The amount of money that we have, is it the money that was allocated, or that's how much that the contractor actually?
That's how much the
proposed?
contractor actually submitted his pricing for. And keep in mind, if you look at the staff report, this is the improvement to the force main along Biscayne Boulevard from 105th Street all the way up to 123rd Street. This force main is actually an 8-inch force main that is undersized, serving two of the major, the Jockey Club and the Cricket Club. Right now, the city has owned these lines, and they are on a moratorium, meaning that they are under capacity, and Miami-Dade is monitoring every drop that is put into this line. The line is already designed, it's going to be upsized. The funding source is State Revolving Fund and the North Miami Utility Fund.
This company, and we have one owner, is a private-owned company?
It's, I think in the package, Madam Mayor, it has the JV.
I see Jose Alvarez
Mhm.
as the owner, but that's it. He's the only guy who owns the place.
Madam Mayor, the name of the contractor is JVA Engineering.
Mhm.
The
Yes.
owner she's looking at.
The owner of, I'm sorry?
It's only owned by one person. It's not a it's not a, I'm sorry, it is a corporation.
Yes.
There's only one owner on it?
If you look at the package, they're on his business department from Business and Professional Regulation. His licenses is JVA Engineering is one owner.
Because all I see on Sunbees is Mr. Alvarez as the registered agent
That's correct.
on it. Okay.
It's in the package.
No discussion, questions? Anyone wishes to record a no? Thank you. Mr. Clerk.
For the record, tab G passes 5-0. Tab H, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders for the purchase of 3 2014 Ford Fusion POG cars, 1 2014 Ford E-250 cargo van, E2E, 1 2014 Ford F350 F3G pickup truck, 1 2014 Ford F550 F5G pickup truck, 1 2014 Ford F150 F1C pickup truck, 2 2014 Ford F250 SD F2A pickup truck, and 1 2013 Chevrolet Tahoe 1500 CC 1076 1FL to be placed in service by the Public Works and Parks and Recreation Departments at an approximate total cost of $254,000 from Alan J. Ford, AutoNation Chevrolet, Don Reed Ford, Duval Ford, and Hub City Ford to piggyback the competitive award issue by the Florida Sheriff's Association and Florida Association of Counties under the police-rated vehicles, motorcycles, sedans, and light trucks bid award number 13-21-09-04, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Thank you. Is there a motion on tab H?
Second.
Discussion. Public forum is open. Public forum is now closed. Discussion. Anyone wishes to record a no? Mr. Clerk.
For the record, tab H passes 5-0. Tab I, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, initiating the process, authorizing a study, and authorizing the city manager and city attorney to do all things necessary for the proposition of reducing speed limits in residential districts within the city of North Miami, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Is there a motion on tab I?
So moved.
Second.
Public forum is open. Okay. I don't know. I need to understand this because.
5 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, this is not a village; it's a city.
The present limit on our city streets, residential streets, is 30 miles per hour.
And we want to put them.
We are looking at reducing, per this resolution, we are looking at reducing to 25 miles per hour.
Why is that?
At the request of the councilman.
Speeding.
And we are looking, before this is adopted or before any measure is taken, a study has to be done.
Need to be up.
So this is actually authorizing the
And
city
how
man.
much the study is going to cost the city?
We are looking at in the cost right now. It can range anywhere from, tentative cost that I've gotten is anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000.
And where are we going to find the money?
Wait a minute.
Where are we going to find the money to do the study? As an engineer, you know that in order for any change, in order to get any change of speed, first of all, you have to conduct a study, and secondly, you don't decrease the speed. You do the 85 percentile of the speed limit of the of the drivers going through that streets. And how many city streets do we have in the city?
There's a lot of city streets in
Well,
the city.
if you're going to
we have
reduce them from
300
30
miles, 300 miles of city streets, Madam
Okay.
Mayor.
How many?
300 miles of city streets.
That how many streets are there? Because you have to do the studies in order to know what, where, and how. Because I know that in Biscayne Park, which is a village, with what, 2,000 people,
Approximately.
they have a speed limit of 25.
Correct.
Because it's a village. We are a city of 75,000 people. How are we going to reduce the speed limit for 25
From 30 miles per hour to 25 miles
to
per hour.
25 miles per hour when we can have preventive measures, adding some stops, putting some bumps? Explain to me how you're going to do that in a city.
Okay.
Madam, and I'm
Let him and then
co-sponsor.
Mr. Bien-Aimé, you will speak.
Okay. What you're trying to explain is actually putting in speed signs and humps and speed tables, what is all termed traffic calming devices. Traffic calming devices are implemented based on a speed study and also overall traffic study of the area. You're correct by saying that the 85th percentile speed is what is implemented, but this is why a study is done to gather the data and to see the driver awareness and the speeds. Now, as I said, tentative price so far we got is 50,000 to 75. It all depends on the nature of the study and what streets and what areas we're looking at. So this is the ballpark number that I'm giving you.
No, because now you this particular item said city of North Miami streets. They didn't say any particular area.
That's right.
So if we have if we're talking about city streets to reduce from 30 to 25, first of all, somebody's gonna have to explain to me why, where we gonna get the money, how in the world did we end up deciding to put down without having citizens' input in the speed limit in their city? How in the world are you gonna pass a resolution like that without getting public forum? I mean, talk to the people. If there's a particular area, I could understand because of X, Y, and Z reasons. But deciding grossly like that to reduce speed in the city, I'm not talking about a village. We are 75,000 people in this city. And go, Mr. Bien-Aimé, let me hear you.
And Madam Mayor, I've received complaints from residents about speeding in a street. And the police department right now is doing a great job on keeping us safe from those bad drivers. What we are doing now is not a resolution and reduce the speed limit. It's authorizing the city manager and the city attorney to conduct a study. Now, when we have the study, that's when we're going to be before the residents and explain them, you have been addressed the issue of speeding. This is one of the solutions. This is what the study say. And now we need your input whether or not we're going to pass a resolution. Now it's not passing a resolution to decrease the speed limit. It's a study to conduct the study. And when you're talking about where the money is going to come from, Madam Mayor, we're talking about safety. We're talking about people's life, and there's no price. And sometimes when we want to spend money, Madam Mayor, when we want to spend money, we're always talking about spending money, where the money is come from. Now we're talking about people's life.
Mr. Bien-Aimé, we have you on record saying that when it was time for the 5 points to be changed,
Which
you
5
said
points?
the 5 points right there on West Dixie
West
Highway,
Dixie and
North East
125th
Avenue, and 125th. You said that business was more important than safety.
No, I
and
did
all
not
of
say
a sudden,
that.
yeah, you have
no, I
it's on
say,
record.
no,
It's
Madam
on
Mayor,
record, Mr.
no, let me
Bien-Aimé.
explain you what I was
Okay,
saying.
Anyway,
Can I explain what?
The idea of changing the speed limit, as I said, this is a city, not a village. I understand. If there's any particular place in your district you believe that people needs to reduce their speed, I think it will be best to instruct the city manager to put some bumps, to put some stops, but you cannot go on a city of 75,000 people
Madam Mayor,
and decide
it's
to
not-
change the speed limit on all the city streets.
Madam Mayor, it's a proposition.
No,
and we have
I'm
five
just
council
trying,
members.
It's okay to argue.
Are we-
It's okay. We can. We're doing an exchange.
Madam
you have
Mayor.
your idea. You convince me. You and Mr.
No,
Keys
that's my idea,
convince
and
me. Convince
no,
me
what
why?
we want to study. That's what we are doing. We're not having a resolution tonight. We want to conduct the study to see it's possible as one of the solutions to reduce the speed limit in the city.
So you have not looked at the speed bumps possibilities? I think it would cost us much less putting speed bumps.
We still got to conduct a study about that. We cannot just put them. It still got to be done by.
No, you don't need a study to do speed
We
bumps.
need that.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
Can you answer?
Yes,
yes.
Everything need a study, Madam Mayor. We cannot just. We have safety issue that we need to address, and we have to conduct a study to know if we're going to put bumps in anywhere in the city, Madam Mayor.
Okay, instead of coming with the reducing, it's to solve the situation of speeding in certain.
Madam
areas,
Mayor,
would
that's what I
understand.
think it's will be in the best interest of the residents. If you don't think so, you're going to vote against it.
No, that's not the point. The point is
And it's to conduct a study.
a study that will give
We're
you
not going to
85
just
percentile.
decide
Okay.
we don't want 30, we want
Mr. Bien-Aimé,
25.
Mr. Bien-Aimé, as the city manager mentioned, we have to take the 85 percentile of the cars passing by the streets to decide. And if at the end of your study, if it shows that we need to raise the speed limit, what will happen?
We're going to explain to residents that we need to do so.
Okay, so it's
And
better.
based on the answers,
So I
that's
would
when we're
understand
going to
it
make
better.
our decision.
Okay, I would understand it better if you didn't put reducing its studies within the street, because I am for a friendly amendment on that particular item in order for us to see whether or not it is worth changing certain speed limit, not to reduce, not to increase, but to conduct study to change the speed limit on city streets.
Whatever you please,
This is
Madam
my-
Mayor,
this would
and
be
I
my
feel like that
suggestion.
I'm okay with that.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
I think I'm on record right now as the maker of the motion. Is that correct, Mr. City Clerk?
That's correct, Councilman
Yes,
Garvey.
All right, I'm very likely to pull my motion, and here's why. And I want to be supportive of what Councilman Bien-Aimé is trying to do here tonight. I see the validity. Staff did not give any presentation about cost in this. And if you're talking about $7,000, that's one thing, but $70,000? Again and again, staff is asking us to approve items and not telling us what the budgetary impact would be. If this is going to cost us 50 to 70, it needs to say so. It needs to tell us where that money's going to come from, and there needs to be an associated budget amendment on the agenda with it, so that we're not making budget changes mid-year without giving any idea of what the impact is going to be and how we're going to address it. I'm going to withdraw my motion for tonight, not because I don't want to be supportive, but because having heard now that there's a large dollar amount attached to it without any type of budget explanation attached, I'm not willing to be the maker of tonight's motion on this item. I want to be supportive. I like where the councilman is coming from, but we got to quit throwing ideas on here and then going, oh yeah, by the way, it cost you $70,000, and oh yeah, by the way, we hired this firm and it cost blank number of dollars, and oh yeah, by the way, Mr. Johnson's gone now, we paid him $282,000. We got to stop doing that. So I will respectfully, and I hope the councilman will understand why I'm withdrawing my motion to approve right now.
He does.
I just am not comfortable with the way the budget is aligned with this item.
And Councilman Bien-Aimé, it's not, it's okay to have discussion. It's okay for you and I not to see things eye to eye. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm okay with
you
that.
You stand your ground and I'll stand mine.
Exactly.
And I believe if we are running a city, we're not a dictatorship city, we need to let the citizens know what we want to do. I don't think it's fair to use one particular area in the city where people are complaining of speed to put the entire city at...
Are you telling me in some area people want to increase the speed limit?
No. When you conduct
residential area?
When you conduct a study, Mr. Ghani, as an engineer, can tell you. They put those little things that record the speed that people pass by every day for a certain period of time. Am I wrong, Mr. Gali?
No, you're correct.
And they record. Let's say if there's 100 cars who passed by that particular street in one day, they have to record the 85%. If 85 cars drive that route at 40 miles per hour, they're going to have to change it for 40 miles instead of 35.
Madam Mayor, we said residential area, and I don't think there is residential. We don't have that in residential area.
Right, and just one point of clarification, the 85th percentile is just one criteria that is used, and there's other criteria, the width of the streets, whether there's medians, driver distances, and a series of other things.
Right.
So just calling out the 85th percentile is not the single most point that is used to determine the speed limits. Again, there's several things that is looked at in reducing the speed limits. They are called traffic calming devices, and we could look at different methods of or different implementation of traffic calming devices on residential streets.
Very good. So
Yes,
Okay, and
before you do, as Councilman Galvin just mentioned, it would be good for us to know where, how
and
we're going to do
May I
it.
speak,
Madam
Madam
Mayor,
Mayor, as this is
Hold on,
my,
hold on. Madam
Okay.
Keys has not spoken yet.
and this is my, also, I sponsored this coincidentally with Councilman Bianame. I did-
Coincidentally, you have sponsored it. That's correct.
Yes. Over the years, talking to the residents throughout the city, people throughout the city have been complaining about speed. Everybody that I speak to wants speed bumps on their street. It is not practical for speed bumps throughout the city on every street, and I understand we did get some speed bumps in Keystone Point on the main drive. It's like a drive-through to get to Miami Beach. They don't really work that well. We've got some other speed bumps. So many streets in Keystone. People in San Souci, the residents of San Souci, everybody is asking for speed bumps. When we try to do this with Mr. Collins, was still our Public Works Director, we were told we can't have speed bumps, we can't have this, we can't have that because of the fire department. And the fire department will not allow these traffic calming devices. And people are still complaining, you can't do it on every street. And I thought, and I had been speaking to Mr. O'Brien, our traffic engineer, for the past several months, asking, can we do something about reducing the speed? He said he did not think it was a problem to bring it forward. And I've been discussing this with Mr. Ghani over the past several months, and it was time to bring it up for discussion. If we want to table this to get further costs, I did not realize it was going to cost so much.
Yeah.
And if it can't be done immediately, maybe partially done now and partially budgeted for next year. But I think that people are speeding like crazy in our city. They're using our streets as a raceway. The central of the city, I know it's hard. You've got 12th Avenue and 10th Avenue. The people are screaming. We can't do anything about those streets, but the cross streets just behind City Hall, 126th Street, 127th Street, everybody, I mean, I get calls constantly, the speeding. We can put stops. I see we're getting a few more stops going through the central portion. But, other than putting a stop at every street, I really think if we lower the speed to 25, maybe when people are now speeding, they will then speed at 30. I was at the San Souci homeowners last night. They would like to lower their entire gated community to 20 miles an hour. So the people I think if we hold, and I think it is up to the people to do workshops and get their opinions. We haven't had the public hearing, but I think it's something really important we need to look into.
Good.
And I strongly support
do
it.
you drive Biscayne Park sometimes?
I wouldn't dare speed.
Okay. But you see,
They've got this, and I would like those signs.
and
Don't
their
even
speed
think
limit
about
is
it.
also 30, but nobody
25.
would dare. No, most of them is 30.
25.
Nobody
Madam
would dare think about speeding because they have those signs said don't even think about speeding.
And
And
the-
sometimes they have police officers in those major intersections making sure their police officers are so good that they come to our boundaries and give tickets to our citizens.
Well, everybody wants the traffic police guarding their particular stop. I don't think we have enough police officers to watch every single stop sign, but I think by slowing down the traffic, we've got children. I got it done in behind the alley on 18th Avenue, and people are thrilled. We got that reduced to 15 miles per hour, but there were no sidewalks there, and people were racing back and forth, and the street was barely wide enough for two cars. So I felt if we could do 15 there, 25 throughout through the residential neighborhoods where our children are playing, people are biking, skateboarding, people are walking their children in strollers. I really think it's a safety issue, and I'm going to push for this. Thank
Okay,
you.
so Mr. Gani, you can come back with it once you
No,
bring
Madam
the
Mayor,
budget.
and Madam Mayor, he withdraw his motion, and I will bring a motion on the table to approve authorizing the city manager and the city attorney to conduct a study about reducing the speed limit from 30 to 25, and I'm willing to ask the city manager to take it from the $1.5 million that was allocated for District 3
Okay.
to do that. I want to keep the motion. Whether or not you want to vote against it, that's fine with me, but I
I would
want to make a
second that.
motion.
I would second that.
How much money he has left on his $1 million?
I think budget is, I think is roughly 1.2. We spent, there's allocated about 300 already for sidewalks, some improvements on some pocket parks. So about 1.2 is remaining.
I'm going to start doing like Mr. Galvin, asking questions and asking line items, because we do. Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Mr. Bien-Aimé instruct a new motion with a amendment on tab H. Mr. Clerk,
What is the amendment?
It's tab I.
the amendment is
Tab
with
I.
the instruction to give to the city manager, to authorize the city manager to take the money, and we don't know how much it is. You gave us a rough estimate, so whichever what it cost for the study, Mr. Bien-Aimé is giving you the green light to take it from the money that he has to
No, it's
conduct
not
that
the
study.
money, the residents' money, Madam Mayor, because I have so many complaints about the residents, and so many people are calling me throughout the city, not only in District 3, but throughout the city about the speed limit. People from 12th Avenue, from 125th
Griffin
to
Boulevard.
135th, no, 125th to 135th on 12th Avenue by the school.
Correct.
Because of the closure of 10th Avenue, now it become a big traffic street, 12th Avenue. That's because of so many complaints from residents, and I think it's a big issue for me,
So
and we want to address
we
that.
got you.
I don't
As
think
long as
I'm
you are-
happy that you got me.
As long as you have the instruction to take the money from Mr. Bien-Aimé's district money
His
for the
capital
study.
improvement money. Yes.
For the entire city.
I don't think you've done a public hearing yet.
We did.
Did you?
Yes.
Mhm.
Did we?
Yes, we did. And you can go back on records and look. To take the money from Mr. Bien-Aimé's.
You know you
Capital
said that
Improvement
3 times
Fund.
already,
I
right?
say that so many times. You want to make sure,
I wanna
put
make
me
sure that
on
you
record.
understand.
You're
I
going to
just wanna
get
make
the
sure that
money
Mr.
from the
Ghani
1.5
is getting the
allocated
friendly
to
amendment.
District 3 to conduct a study about reducing the traffic from 30 to 25
Yes.
for the entire city.
Yes.
And no cap. Mr. Clerk.
Okay, just for the record, this is a vote on tab I. The motion was made by Councilman Vice Mayor Bien-Aimé, seconded by Councilwoman Keys, and with the amendment to use the money allocated to District 3 to pay for the cost of the study. That's how it's going to show on the minutes. And roll call vote, Vice Mayor Bien-Aimé,
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys,
Yes.
Councilwoman Steril,
Yes.
Councilman Galvin.
Yes.
Mayor Thundro.
Yes.
Item
Get the
passes
money.
5-0.
One point of clarification, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
This is along residential city streets,
Yeah.
because there are also FDOT streets, Miami-Dade County streets. So the study would be along residential city streets.
Can you do my district first?
I will.
Thank
Can you do my city first?
Well, sorry. My district is
Now,
in the city, so.
Mr. Ghani, I'd like to also to have the number of streets that belongs to the city
Sure.
and where the studies are going to be taking place.
Starting from my district.
Starting from my city.
That's good.
Okay.
You can do my street last.
Starting from District 3.
You
We like
guys-
driving fast on Enchanted.
We finished. It's over.
Thank you.
Tab J, discussion regarding general obligation bond, Rux Park.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
May I respectfully ask that this item be continued to our next agenda? There's no documentation at all on this. I have no idea what you're about to tell us, neither does the public.
I agree.
There's nothing in our packet. I'd like to continue it to the next meeting so that you have the chance to give us some framework of what this discussion will be about.
Are you making it as a motion?
A motion to continue to our next meeting.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, council report. Council report.
We're done?
Council report.
I've got a
Just not much to report, except that we're getting ready to do the grand opening, groundbreaking on the North Bay Shore Park. I'm hoping it's going to be in a couple weeks. We've got new equipment going in. Is it going to be the 24th?
It was canceled.
It's probably going to be the 24th, but to be determined. Anyway, we're going to have a great groundbreaking. It's going to be a beautiful park. We're going to redo the boardwalk, the pier, and it's our only waterfront piece of property in North Miami, so I'm very excited to do that. Hoping everybody will ride their bikes, walk, and come out to the park Saturday. We'll let you know which one.
Does that conclude your report, Madam Keys?
I'm concluded.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Mr. Galvin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to tip my hat to Tanya Sejour and her housing department for the great work where we groundbroke the apartment complex at the Griffin Estates.
Griffin
I think that's
Manor.
what it's called.
Griffin Manor. District 3.
In District 3. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm stealing, but I was very impressed at how nice that building looked. I've looked at that previously eyesore of a building for years and years, going in and out of the J.C. Hall, and I commend you guys for the work that you did in fixing the place up. I'd also
in a nice
like
color and design landscape.
Yeah, very nice. I'd like, if the council agrees, to give directive to staff on something. I'm embarrassed that the city of North Miami does not have its own social media presence. We don't have Facebook, we don't have Twitter, we don't have any of that.
Instagram?
I see. Now, our police department did finally launch its own Facebook page recently, but under previous administrations, there had been a reticence to get into the 21st century. Now that we're more than a fifth way into it or so, I'd like us to give direction to staff to immediately put together a social media presence through the IT or PIO department where we would have a Facebook page, a Twitter page, and we would begin to own our own message instead of letting others report on what we do for us. So if the rest of the council feels the same way, I'd hope we'd give them that directive.
I think the last time I asked Scott, somebody told me that they were working on it.
Ricardo.
Yeah, I think that they were working on it.
Working on it? It doesn't take 2 hours to do a Facebook page.
I did ask, trust me.
I just made a Marie Sterrell re-election page.
Thank you. And you are the
Mr.
Thank you, my great supporter.
Hi, good evening. There's a couple of issues with the Facebook page. Mainly the fact that, remember, we are subject to public records, so we have to work out the details on how we will handle the keeping of the records from Facebook, because it's obviously out of our control what gets posted there. So that's one of the major concerns.
That doesn't ring true. I have a Facebook page. Everything you put on there is captured. You can't erase it. You can delete it, but
you can delete it. You can delete it, and that's a problem, because if we delete it, then we're technically deleting a public record.
It's the same though as if we were to delete an email. Shame on us if we violate the law.
But we have an email archiver which allows you to capture all the emails. So even if you delete an email, our system is keeping track of that. It keeps track of that email. So you can get an email sent to you and you delete it right away. We're keeping a copy of that. So regardless of whether you deleted it or not, it's still there.
Biscayne Park, we seem to be the homage to Biscayne Park tonight.
Yeah,
they have the village of Biscayne Park, the village of Miami Shores, North Miami Beach, Aventura. They all have city-sponsored Facebook pages.
No, we can put one in place. I'm not sure if it's going to allow for the feedback. We can have, it will be a sort of one-way communication unless we have some sort of filter in place.
It's a like page. The Facebook page will be just the one I have for Mayor Tondro. So people would just can like it. It's not the number of friends that you have. But people can interact. If there's an event in the city, people wants to interact, they should be able to post their messages.
Our
whether
police
they-
department already has it going.
Post message.
So MoCA has it going. So we sort of already have a presence, but it's not an official. Let me tell you what, I could set up a City of North Miami website or Facebook page right now and start posting all sorts of gibberish, and people are going to think it's really the City of North
You
Miami.
can, and there's a couple of things with that, because even right now we're trying to get our YouTube page, as you all are aware of. Our YouTube page is not technically recognized as a government YouTube page, so we have sent a contract to the city attorney's office that is reviewing it to make our YouTube page official, make it the government, the City of North Miami's official YouTube page. Right now, we recognize it in our website and everywhere, so that sort of makes it official, but it's to the eyes of YouTube and of Google, which is the owner of YouTube, it's not. So we will have to do something similar with Facebook. We will have to enter in some sort of agreement to make sure that it is recognized, because you're right. Anybody can open a page in Facebook and say it's the official City of North Miami, and maybe Pam can elaborate.
Pam's going to tell us she's already locked down those pages so that they can't be stolen, but you get where I'm coming from.
I just wanted to give an update as it pertains, because Ricardo and I have been working on it, and I have tons and tons of research on social media for government. We have been working on an administrative regulation for the guidelines. It has taken, admittedly, quite a while to get that into place. I did secure the Twitter handle. I have started using that as a pilot program. Police Department began with Facebook. Parks and Rec began with Facebook. And Instagram as well to help promote events. In the interim, we are backing those up in-house in terms of just screenshotting them, just so that we're compliant with Chapter 119. There are some outlying issues that we're just trying to address in terms of words that shall not be posted on a government site. I am working with Katie Harbreath of Facebook, who deals only with local government. So Facebook has evolved, has changed, put some parameters into place as it pertains to local government. And that's my only problem with trying to establish that page. I can establish it, but I have to use my current personal email, and I want it linked to our city domain. So there are some just, logistical issues that we've been working on. Ricardo's been a part of that team, as well as some of the Parks and Recreation Department that are, using the social media. So the train's running, but it's not running yet. So, we're looking at fast tracking it.
Can we sprint
We
it?
are, yes,
Yeah,
we are.
It's
So it seems at face value very simple, but there are some things that need to be done in terms of getting that facilitated. So that's what we're working on behind the scenes.
Sure.
So
But may we target the end of June to have things launched? I mean, by July 4th, we can
There
start
might be
announcing
some
our
agreements that
independence.
will have to be signed or approved. Like I mentioned with the Gmail one, right now, city attorney is reviewing that one to make our YouTube page official. So there might be some sort of agreement involved in the Facebook one to make sure that our Facebook page is indeed recognized as a government page. Because like I said, anybody can go on Facebook and create a page and call it, this is the official North Miami page. So, there are certain things that have to be done. There might not be a cost attached to it, but there's still going to be some legal paperwork that will have to be filled out or agreed upon with those vendors to get that established, and to get it established the right way, because anybody can make a Facebook page. We can have one up and running tomorrow. Now, whether it'll be official or not, that's the question.
And I know the question Ricardo was speaking to in terms of open access, allowing for posting. You want that communication, like Councilman Galvin stated, you want people to be able to come to us for that conversation and for us to be in control of the messaging and be a part of the conversation. So we do want two-way messaging. It's just some parameters that need to be locked down in order to facilitate that, so that we are not violating Chapter 119 and other issues.
Can we consult with the other cities that has theirs?
I have files.
We have.
So
I have lots of cities.
There's still not one thing that can be, we cannot copy from what they're doing, or is it we have something special as a
We're not
government
reinventing
entity?
the wheel. We're not reinventing the wheel with
No,
that.
we're
We're
just
using the
reinventing
best
the wheel.
of best
So
case
why
scenarios.
can't we have a Facebook page up and make it like if somebody wants to send a message to Councilman Bien-Aimé, they can go straight to his inbox so that all of the council members don't need to read what they're telling him. And so on, it's the same way for everybody else.
Well, what happens with a lot of cities, Madam Mayor, is that a lot of cities will have staff that monitors that Facebook page. So as to route the different comments, as a matter of fact, in one of the seminars that I have attended, the state of California presented something. Obviously, state of California is a different state. They have different public records laws, but they had a two-way a Facebook page on their for their driver's license office, where they allowed customers to post comments on different things, and they have somebody at the Department of Motor and Vehicles monitor that Facebook page and get back to people. So we need to work on something like that, whereas who's going to be monitoring the site to make sure that any comments that get posted get routed appropriately. One of the things that we're trying to do as well is trying to go out and look for companies that make mobile applications which can get the word out and probably even faster than Facebook. Now, as you all are all aware, there are different companies out there that make mobile applications. We've been in conversations with one of the companies. Obviously, it still hasn't materialized, but we've been in conversations with them to see if we can have our own mobile application, for Android and Apple, where we can share this type of events. We can share all different events that the city's having, meetings that the city's having, and it will come up on your phone that if you have the app that, the city's having this event. So we're trying to go in that route as well.
Madam Mayor, I suggest we look to see what other cities are doing, and I'll get Ricardo to confirm a few things, and then we'll,
Yes.
But,
It's okay, just do what you
Does that
do. Come back
conclude your
to us.
report, Mr.
Yes,
Galvin?
and therein lies the bureaucratic stuff we need to get over so that we can get on with the 21st century. That's
Thank
why
you.
I want us to just do this. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Stereo.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As you see, Scott, I have been working on it on your behalf, so they just have to do what they have to do. I just want to say thank you so much to the Chief for the police walk in District 4. It was a success. I did get my exercise. So the constituent actually really enjoyed to see police was out there to greet them. A lot of kids was, there too as well to enjoy it. We had about 24 police officers, higher comment staff, and the thing is, the chief was there, the assistant chief was there. We had a great time, and we had what other? I think that the housing department was there as well, and we had code enforcement officers were there. So we really did. We walk around and we greet the constituent. Thank you, Chief. I hope that we can do that again a little bit more often. In terms of the city manager, I was about to say workshop. We did so many workshops in the city. I know that a couple of weeks ago, we suggested we give direction to, I'm assuming the city attorney, to hire a firm. Well, it has to be you, or it can't be him, to hire a company to hire the city manager, or to conduct study? What would be the proper word?
A search
terminology. Firm. A search firm. So, what is the update? Where are we right now?
I believe the city procured Colin Basinger, who the city has used in the past, and I'm pretty sure he has met individually with each of the council members.
Okay.
And the next phase, he has been in touch with personnel to put together a profile for the city manager, and that profile should be going out soon. I do not have that particular date.
Usually, from the past experience, what we do up here, we do give you or ask you what is the timeline. How do we want to do it? Do we wait? Do we, after he get all the information, which I think that is standard, is send it out for what, a week or 2 weeks, bring it back, have a committee to screen the applicants, and then bring it before us. So do you guys have a timeline, or you want us to give you guys like at least an idea what to expect?
At the meeting where you all, where the city manager was here, you didn't give a timeline. I think you said that you were going to discuss that in the future.
Okay, so share with us, what is it, what you're thinking about? Actually, we were just talking.
It was
no,
arranged.
we were just talking. That was just talk. So what would be your timeline? Normally, what is that?
I mean, it's up to the council. If it's 90 days, it's 90 days. If it's 60, it's completely up to when you want to hire and appoint a city manager. And I would go backwards. So if you select a particular date, and then you work backwards in terms of having everything done prior to that particular selection.
How much does that cost?
It was approximately $18,000.
So here's...
Is that in our budget?
It's already spent. We already hired it. We did give them, we authorized them to hire the firm. That's too late right now to ask. Here's what I would suggest. Yes, we did. We just have to wake up when we giving direction to staff. So we did give them direction. Well, I did, since I'm the leader up here, so I did.
You give them.
So here's what I'm suggesting since I did, Mr. Bien-Aimé. I am suggesting that we give a timeline to the firm, since they already spoke to most of us up here, and I'm assuming that he already gathered all the information that he needed, to send it out. From the past, I know it's take like, what, a week or 2 weeks to bring it back to us, and then take another week or 2 weeks to screen the applicant and bring it back. The reason that I bring it up because that I know we have recess in July and we have budget in September. So I am assuming that we would like to have a permanent city manager before recess, or at least a week before recess. He'll have the time we're not here to drive him crazy, to get used to the city, or to get used with the budget, or anything else that person would have to do during the time that we are in recess. And by the time that we come back, since I know budgets are already started now, it's not like I think that it's going to start in July. Budget already started like since
2 months ago.
2 months ago, that's right. So my proposal is to do all that and bring it back the last meeting in June, or last meeting of June. I'm not sure what date is that.
Can I say something?
I believe, Madam Sterrell, if you want to bring a proposal to that effect, you want to make sure that you, as the city manager, to put it as a discussion item for next week, because everybody have to put their grain of salt for next council meeting, because you want to have everybody's input on this. What do you think?
Actually, I don't mind. It was just a conversation that I really was thinking about.
So are you instructing the city manager to make sure that he has it on the next agenda item for the 24th, so that way, and you are sponsoring it, so that way we can have, because it requires everybody's grain of salt in it, no?
Okay. It doesn't matter how you... Can I finish? You are kind of very excited. It doesn't matter how you guys want to do it. My only concern is that if we have, which we will have a permanent city manager, I'm assuming that whatever that we do, we take into consideration that we need to have it like a week before recess. Okay. So if we want to do it next week or the 2 council meeting, we still have to give that, we're still hoping that the firm bring it back to us by the June 24th. That's what I'm suggesting. So
thank you. Mr. Bien-Aimé?
And if I want to follow Councilwoman Steele, and I have a question for the city attorney, and to hire a city manager and get the contract done, we got to do it to an ordinance based on a charter.
Say that one more time.
For the hiring of a city manager, right, to get the contract done, we got to do it to an ordinance, Is that
To
correct?
hire a city manager?
Not I.
No.
Let's say I make a motion to hire a city manager, right?
Correct.
In order to approve the contract and everything, we got to do it to an ordinance.
No.
Resolution.
Your resolution.
A
Resolution. And we need two reading.
No, just one
One.
reading.
One reading.
Well, so there's two separate events. Once you hire the city
A mo-
manager, and then you would then negotiate
Correct.
with the city manager,
Mhm.
and then you
And
would
it's going to be a
have,
resolution
then you
or an ordinance.
Resolution.
No, it's
Then
a
you
You got to be two reading?
No.
No, 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 no. no.
Tell me yes or no.
I'm trying to answer
I
your
heard.
question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So the first step would be to hire the city manager, and then you go out and you negotiate with the particular person, and then you bring the agreement, the proposed agreement, with a resolution to the council to be voted on. And it's just one reading for a resolution.
Just one.
Correct.
And also, we have set steps to hire a city manager through the firm. So anybody who would like to become a city manager, they have to go through the process as well. So that way the firm can bring to the council the list of the finalists according to everybody's profile that they gave him, and from there the council will decide.
That's why, I'm sorry, can I?
Go ahead, go ahead.
That's why I said that I would suggest that the firm the firm go through the process, the regular process, for us to have it like a week before recess, because by the time that we voted on hiring the city manager, so we will take another week for the city attorney to negotiate on our behalf with the amount of money that we wanted to pay and blah, 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 the term and everything else to come before us,
Madam
and then we're going to
Steven,
have to vote on
It's
it.
his report. Now you have to let him speak.
I didn't finish
no, it's
yet.
okay.
That was my
It's-
report.
Oh,
He just
she
finished.
was not done. Mr. Bien-Aimé.
No, he just
She was not
finished.
done. I'm sorry. I
Oh, you
did
wasn't
give
done?
him the floor,
Yeah.
No, but
thinking that you were done with your report.
No, we were just discussing it. So
Okay.
it's okay. I don't.
Are you
mind
done
your
with your
mind.
report? I don't want
No,
to
No,
think
I'm-
that I'm taking
No,
your time away from you, because we
I
have
am
plenty of
fine.
time.
It's early. I'm fine. Go
Okay.
ahead, sir.
Mr. Bien-Aimé.
Mayor and council, I think we should be ready to hire a city manager way before the end of June. And first of all, you just said we need to work on our budget, and we need to understand we have the county budget and the state budget to work on, try to get some money either from the state or the county. And me personally, in 2 weeks, I should be ready and to make a motion on hiring a city manager. But it's the mayor and council. It's 5 people, and that's need to be ready to do so. That's why I think we should make a decision before that. And I will go with Councilwoman Steele. I will go with her and bring it back on the next council, where we can set a time to vote on if we have to meet again with the firm and everything.
No, that's not how it works, sir. That's not what I said.
Oh, that's not what you said.
What I think partially what you're saying is that, which the mayor said, we already remember that we voted to hire the firm.
Yeah,
so
on
the
the-
firm has a process. What we can agree, I just give a suggestion of the 24, but the process that the firm is using, it's standard. If we asked him to put it out tomorrow within a week to bring it back in or out, bring it back in, and we give them like 2 weeks to do all the process, or 3 weeks to do all the process and bring it back the first week of June, that's what he will be doing. So that's why that I was trying to expedite the process.
Okay,
So
I will
that's up
go.
to us.
I will go with you if we want to expedite it, then for 2 weeks or maximum 30 days.
So are you instructing the city attorney to speak to the firm for them to bring
Set the deadline.
to bring forward the list of the people that they have so far interviewed or resume they received in order for the mayor and council to do a choice?
Yeah. So they will
First
have
week, first
2
council
weeks in
of June.
Fine with me. As long as they go through the process,
June
that
10th.
would be June 10th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to vote
Yeah.
on June 10th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yes?
like a month.
Okay.
They have like 4 weeks to
Okay,
do all
got
that.
it.
Good? Okay.
Mr. Bien-Aimé, continue. Oh, Madam.
I'm done.
Madam.
You done?
No
You were
reports.
oh,
I'm
okay.
finished
You took for
with that.
Okay, my
We said June
next.
10, right?
Yes, sir. Jesse's, well, the building that's, Mr. Interim City Manager, the building that's next to
Jesse's
Griffin, I didn't want to call it Jesse's building because it's belong to the city, right?
I believe so.
Okay, but I know Jesse's has been using it for a long time. But do we still take care of that building?
I don't think we do, but I'll have to check into it. I know there was some lease agreement a while back for $1 or something, but I do not know the specifics. I could find out for you.
Okay, can
Is
you?
it the Knights of Columbus?
No.
Is it what is it?
Is the building to the extreme
Jesse's.
south
Yeah,
of the Griffin Center?
That's JC's.
Yeah,
It's
the
Knights of
North,
Columbus.
the North Miami J.C. Hall, the Knights of Columbus share space there, but
Okay.
the deeds and the lease and everything are with the North Miami J.C.'s. The
Okay.
city of North Miami owns the land
Correct.
and rents the land to the J.C.'s for $1 a
$1.
year. There are still 50-plus years remaining on that.
And the
lease.
building. The
The
building
building
belongs
is,
to.
the building is owned and operated by the
By-
North Miami J.C.'s.
Okay, that's what
They clean the building themselves, they paint the building themselves.
No,
the city
enough
doesn't.
said. The reason that I asked, it just I see he didn't look like the other building that we actually own.
Right.
So I was wondering why is it look different?
The
But that's
city-
explained it
The
though.
city doesn't do any maintenance on
Yeah,
that.
that's what
that
I thought.
know
I
of.
thought that the
Technically not a city facility, though it sits on
Right.
city land. The exact same agreement exists with the North Miami Chamber of
Chamber of
Commerce. The city owns the land that that building sits on, but the chamber itself owns and operates its own building.
It goes for 99 years.
For, still 50 years on a 99-year lease.
To
I
go.
think it was 1955 or something like that.
None of us will be there by the time the lease is
I
over.
will. Okay, my last thing to finish. It seemed like I have a very long report. This week, I think it was Monday or last week, I don't remember. I met with a firm with you, the rail track, from FDOT.
Right.
And while we were meeting, I asked you to put them on the agenda for presentation, which you said yes in front of them. You went to your office, you look at the agenda, you said it was going to be in the agenda because you didn't post it yet. However, when I look in the agenda, I did not see it in the agenda. I didn't get a courtesy call to tell me that it was not going to be in the agenda. Until tonight, I thought it was a mistake that it was not going to be in the agenda, or the people were going to be presented. They did not present it. What happened?
Can I respond?
Sure. You have the floor.
I did meet with the company you're talking about. That's the Tri-Rail and FDOT as part of the whole project. There was a resolution that had to be vetted by the city attorney's office. The public presentation that I promised to put on this agenda was pulled because we wanted to do the presentation with the resolution, and that's the reason why it was pulled.
Mr. Ghani, you said two things. Up here, I might not be the mayor, but I am one of the council. And I happen to voted for you or not voted for you, but you still work for all of us. I ask you to put it in the agenda. Regardless if you wanted a resolution or not, actually, I purposely told you that it was not a resolution because that they met with me, and I think that they met with the mayor as well. And Mr. Schneidman made a nice presentation regarding the Tri-Rail because it's going to be part of the downtown. And I did not want to keep it by myself. I said, put them in the agenda, and you mentioned a 2 or 3 minute presentation, and we agree on that. You decided not to put them on the agenda. Not only that, you decided not even to give me a courtesy call to tell me that they're not going to be in the agenda. And I hope that never happen again.
Madam Steele, on the defense of the
I'm
city
sorry,
manager,
Madam-
hold on.
I don't-
You
I
need
don't
an
want you to
information,
be
let me give
no.
you the details.
I'm sorry, Madam. If
No,
you
no,
don't
no,
work
no,
for
no.
me, and
No,
I don't
no,
need a
hold on,
explanation
hold
from
on.
you.
Mr. Ghani, you have to remind Madam Steele that there is a resolution from Mrs. Sosa, Commissioner Sosa, for us to bring at the MPO At that time, they are going to do a second presentation or a third presentation when it will be fresher after their presentation for us to do the resolution. They are seeking for all cities. Chairwoman Sosa from MPO is seeking a resolution from all cities for them in order for them to move forward with that thing.
So
and that is the reason why.
What is it that you're telling me, Madam?
What I'm telling you is that they're going to be here to do the presentation when we're ready to do the resolution and bring it to the MPO.
That's not what you're telling me. So you're telling me that, as my colleagues, that you agree that I asked the city manager to do something. He didn't even give me a courtesy call, and you agree with that?
No.
And that's all that I'm discussing.
No.
That is all that I'm talking about.
You brought two things.
Don't worry about what I bring
yes,
on.
as a courtesy, was supposed to let you know that.
Who's we?
I said he was supposed to let you know. I said, as a courtesy, he was supposed to let you know that it's not going to be on the agenda. Why wasn't it done? I don't know. All I'm saying is that the reason why there's no presentation today is because we have to come with a resolution to bring it to the MPO, to Chairwoman Sosa, in order for them to move forward.
Next time I ask you to do something, and I expect it to be done.
Are you done, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank staff and residents who attended the second annual Taste of Haiti event on Saturday, May 10th. A special thank you to the partnership of Commissioner Jamonet's team, the General Consulate of Haiti, the Haitian Culinary Alliances, and the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. This event was a success, and I believe we are ready to start year 3. Tomorrow, there will be downtown revitalization on the second forum at the Griffin Adults Center from 6:30 to 8:30. Everybody's invited to give your thoughts. Madame, Monsieur. S'il vous plaît. May I continue? Thank you. And on Friday, you're invited to the Walk This Way. You're doing it on purpose. Each time I start talking, you decide to have a conversation with your colleague. Thank you. Where I come from, my dad would say it's not polite. We have the Walk This Way on Saturday, May 17 at the Claude Pepper Park, starting from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We are going towards another 1 million steps with the residents of the city. North Miami Memorial Day ceremony will be on May 26 at the Griffin Park at 10 a.m. And of course, we are up for the challenge of the Get Your Business Online, and we are asking staff, the CRA, to do diligence in order for them to ensure that we register as many businesses as possible. It's a contest towards cities, and I'm hoping that every single employee of this city will make the effort to ensure that all businesses are aware and that we do have so many business online so that the city of North Miami will get the first prize. So, and there is the Art Day coming up in North Miami. That will be Friday, May the 30th from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Mocha Plaza. Those of you who are artists, crafters, you're welcome to call the CRA and register in order for you to have your goods sold at the same time we're having jazz at Mocha. And also I would like to congratulate the North Miami Police Department. I have read the monthly report, the crime statistics, and I would like to congratulate you, Mr. Burgess, for your leadership in the police department. We can feel that there's a new air in the police department. We can see the diligence of our officers, and the crime rate once again went down for the past 2 months. And we have seized more drugs. Marijuana, 5,343. Oopsie. Anyway, narcotic, the work is being done, and I would like to congratulate the police department, not only for this part, but also to the work, the way that they have been dealing with our constituents. I've received phone calls from our constituents. There's like a new way of behaving from our police, and I would like for that to continue. And I would like to congratulate you also in the acquisition of the new motorcycles. They are beautiful. We are the only one in the States that has such motorcycles, and they are beautiful. Again, congratulations, all of you, the police department. Keep up the good work. We're proud of you. Thank you. Parks and Recreation, I don't know. I think we're going to have to give an award to that department for the work that they are doing, putting together several events of the city, and the way on the Taste of Haiti, there was no incident. We had our PAL children, we had the police department, we had our volunteers and the staff. It was like a concerted effort from the city to make this happen, and I am so proud that no incident, no arrest, nobody dies, nobody got stabbed, and we are gearing to year 3, and this is the way a city should move forward. This is why they call us the city of progress. We're moving forward along with our employees and our police forces. Once again, guys, thank you. I am proud of you. Mr. Clerk.
Hello, Mayor. 2 brief reports. I may have to apologize to a lot of people, including the city, because I probably screwed up. As you can tell, last council meeting, you guys made a decision to direct the city staff to hire a firm to consider the new city manager. So I got several phone calls. There's current city managers across Miami-Dade County who was considering applying for the position. So they called with questions regarding the application process. I recommended them to speak to the city attorney's office, the city manager's office, or to call the firm that we hired. Now, and this is where I probably have to apologize to the public. I did text the city attorney this weekend. She wasn't able to get back to me yet. So I might have to apologize because 2 of the questions that I received from 2 city managers in Miami-Dade County who will be applying was whether or not a contract that extends 1 year needs to be passed by resolution or ordinance. Now, obviously, I kind of thought I knew the answer to the question because according to our charter, and this is where I'm going to apologize to the public if I was wrong. I read in Article 5, Section 28, and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to apologize if I'm wrong, where it says no contract involving the payment of money out of the appropriations, which means budget, of more than 1 year shall be made for a period of more than 5 years, nor shall any such contract be valid unless made or approved by ordinance. Now, this is in our charter. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure I'm reading something wrong maybe, but I did reach out to the city attorney, and I did reach out to other city attorneys, and they thought what I thought. But it appears that I was wrong, and I want to apologize to the public and the individuals who did call with information regarding the city manager's position. It says it in the charter, but the city attorney would be in a better position. So obviously I was wrong because of what your response was, and so I just wanted to clarify that on the record, that I was wrong about that. And if you have any questions regarding why I was wrong or what that particular charter says, you can call, the office of the city attorney. That's the first one. So, what?
I didn't understand. What was the issue?
Well, people called, right? You know, we're the public records office, and so they called us with questions regarding the position. And so 2 out of the several phone calls that my office received, they read this in the charter, and I read it in the charter, and I spoke to several city attorneys. I did reach out to Regime. Regime was going to get at me eventually.
What did you tell the people?
I basically told them to read Article 5, Section 23 of our charter. And it says no contract. So anyway, I was wrong. I don't want to dwell on that. I know I was wrong, so I'm going to apologize. Let me apologize gracefully. But I thought it was one thing. I recommended that they read this particular portion of the charter. But according to what the city attorney just responded earlier, I was obviously wrong. So let's not dwell on it. And I apologize.
What do you want?
I apologize. So the second one, the second report is this. I know Scott mentioned it earlier, so I just want to make sure we clarify this because I always pride my department, the clerk's department, for always having a surplus at the end of every year since I've been elected. We are, in fact, one of the 8 departments that shows a deficit here, a projected deficit of $19,118. But this is why. Jackie and Olga, both in our department, retired, and because of the ERIP, listen to this, $155,000 came out of my budget. That was not budgeted. So that means despite the fact that all that money came out of my budget, what we decided, and that's why I hats off to Lewis and the staff there, because they wanted to make their elected clerk look good, they decided that they were going to carry on additional burdens, and we were not going to hire anybody so that I can continue saying that I always have a surplus. So hats off to Lewis and the department. But the reason why my department is showing a $19,000 deficit is simply because $155,000 came out of there when Jackie and Olga retired, and that wasn't budgeted. If that money did not come out of there, we would have probably had roughly a $80,000-$90,000 surplus. So I wanted to clarify that. So although my department shows that it's in the red, it is not our fault, and our staff has in fact sacrificed to allow us to only have a $19,000 deficit. In addition to that, if you can tell, according to even the budget, so far we're halfway through our budget, and the occupational licenses, we've collected roughly 90% of that, and we're only halfway through. So they're working really hard. And as Arthur said earlier, the passports, we have processed way more passports this year at this rate compared to the previous year. So although the productivity in the office have increased, every time I walk in there, they're demoralized because they're working really hard. So I thank them for it. But that is why we are at a $19,000 deficit. All right, that concludes my report. And again, thank you very much, City Clerk Office, for doing a remarkable job. That's it.
Madam Attorney?
No, I was wrong. That's not the vote on that.
Oh, what is this? You showing the manager?
No.
Are you done with your report, Mr. Clerk?
I am, Mayor.
Thank you. Madam Attorney?
Tell me sorry, please.
Councilman Bieneme asked a question about, I assume that was probably why he asked the question, I'm not sure, but with reference to this question about appropriation, so the particular section, I apologize for not getting back to you, I didn't know it was an urgent matter, but the particular section does read, no contract involving the payment of money out of the appropriations of more than 1 year shall be made for a period of more than 5 years, nor shall any such contract be valid unless made or approved by ordinance. What this particular section deals with is if you have a contract in which you appropriate more than money for more than 1 year, that needs to be paid. That needs to be made by ordinance. So, for example, if you have an agreement and you say you're going to and it's a per year agreement for $30,000, you're going to appropriate $60,000 in 1 calendar year, then that needs to be made by ordinance. Why? Because all your agreements are budgeted items, right? So you go through the budget every year. And so at the end of the budget year, you set the budget for the next year and allocate whatever expenses you're going to make for the next year. But if you have an agreement that you have money now that you've not allocated for the next year, it would make sense that you need an extra measure to ensure that extra year money is protected by an ordinance which requires 2 readings. So there's a distinction between monies that are not allocated through the appropriations process, through the budget process, and for those that are allocated every year through your budget process. I hope that clarifies your question, Councilman.
Can you two lawyers take it to the court, please, and leave me alone? Thank you.
Any other report? Are you giving us an update regarding the MOCA situation and the Biscayne Landing situation, Madam Attorney? Any updates?
As you know, we're in ongoing litigation, so I would not
No reports.
No reports for that.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager.
Interim City Manager.
Well.
Yeah, Interim City Manager. First, let me apologize to Councilwoman Sterrell. I did promise to put it on the agenda, and my apologies. I should have called you when I pulled it. 2 things. In your package, I know the mayor already mentioned the crime statistics for our police department. I think the acting or interim chief of police, Lenny Burgess, is doing an excellent job. I get phone calls on a daily and a nightly basis on everything that is going on, and I do reflect that in the report that I submitted to each one of you. The second thing is the day pack that Tanya is working on. I believe that the nominee list, that is this form, we are still waiting on 2 of the members for the nomination.
I've got questions. Sorry, Mr. Interim Manager, I have questions on that too, because again, I don't know where the money for that day pack program is coming from, and no budget presentation's been given to me either.
I'll give you okay.
I like it. I just don't know how we're paying for it. So
Paying for the board members?
no, there was a budget of $50,000, I think, that was stated. Am I confusing things?
No, I think it's 300 for the whole program.
$300?
300,000.
Yeah,
For what?
okay.
For what?
For the day pack
For
program.
for the downtown, the study. Let me call the staff member up to give you the update.
There's actually no money. It's a voluntary body. It's a voluntary
That's what I-
board,
that's what I
advisory
thought.
board.
No.
They're really just ambassadors for bringing the development forward for the downtown initiative to help with the implementation. The idea is that we want to really move forward with the right partners, whether it be RTA or FDOT or local developers that can help to bring the vision of the downtown to life. So there's no 50,000, there's no 300,000. It's a voluntary body. And what we've asked is that each council person recommend 2 names of individuals that you believe could be great supporters in being ambassadors for the downtown initiative.
So who are
I
we
hope
missing?
that's clear.
How
And
many?
Alim has the names, so he
How
could
many
read the names
members
into the
are we
record.
missing? How many?
We have the Councilman Galvin's 2 appointees.
That's what's missing for the day pack?
Yeah, until I have a more thorough discussion about what this body's doing, and I still, somewhere in there, I picked up that there's money attached to
No
this.
money. No.
There's none, so I
there's
can
no
clarify
money?
on the
No.
public
No,
record.
I believe it's
It's an advisory board.
No.
Like any
Tanya, would you
advisory
tell
board.
him the company who is doing the study for us right now? For the
Oh.
downtown redevelopment?
That has nothing to do with the day pack, Mr.
No,
Manager.
No, okay. I believe that is where the confusion is, Madam Mayor. That's what I want to clear
belabor
up.
everybody's night. I am booked solid with work at Junior Achievement until June the 1st.
Okay.
After June the 1st, before June the 10th, when we meet the first time in June, we'll have a conversation, and hopefully I'll feel comfortable to suggest some
Not a
names.
problem, not a problem.
Thank you. Last, I'd like, at the last meeting, I did not introduce our MOCA director, Mr. Babuka. I believe everybody got his resume, and I would just like to present Mr. Babuka. I did not do it the
I didn't
last
get
time.
his resume.
I forward the
How do
resume.
you know that he's
Sign with him and
qualified?
you
Come on.
You already hired the guy, now you're asking about the
Resume? We don't have any resume. Are you sure? You do? No kidding.
I did before you hired
I sent the resume to each one of you, Madam Mayor.
I did not
Oh.
get it.
And
You-
is
you
he?
send
Is he?
me- You send it to me after.
Yeah.
How do we know that he's qualified?
Can we move on?
I think that's it. That's it.
Thank
on
you.
my report.
Mr. Babakar, welcome. We know that you are a well-renowned critic, artist, and your resume speaks for itself. And I believe in the Miami-Dade County or even the state of Florida, there is no director of museum that is more qualified than you do. You study at the Sorbonne, and it says it speaks for itself. Thank you and welcome to our city, sir. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
No?
So moved.
Any second? Oh, we cannot adjourn. Everybody sit back. There's a second to adjourn.
I saw that in the Senate floor in Haiti, though. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.